Okay. So Enrica told me that some of you were interested in, like, were curious about how to get this like line pattern that I used here for shading. So I'm just gonna show that, and we're gonna have this blank canvas here, and we're gonna start by just drawing a shape that we're gonna shade. So I'm just gonna do a circle. That's an ugly circle, but and then so we're gonna take our brush tool. We're gonna draw just some dots that are on top of each other, stacked like that. And then we're gonna use our marquee tool to select that. And then we go up to edit, and then there's a couple different ways to do this. So I'm gonna show you guys how to use a brush. So we're gonna make this into a brush using this define brush preset option. And so you can name it whatever you want. And so that's gonna be made. And now we have a brush that draws horizontal lines, but it doesn't work if you draw them down. So you have to go up to your brush settings panel. So I'm not sure if your guys' workspace is the same as mine, but there should be a window with brush settings.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just go there and then go to shape dynamics, and you're gonna change the angle jitter here to direction. So that makes it so that the orientation of the brush changes with whatever angle you're using. And then, so we're gonna make a new layer and clip it to the shape that we drew earlier by holding down Option or Alt and just clicking on in between those two layers. And then we're just gonna draw, just draw the lines. And then, so that's over everything. So now we want to mask it. So we're going to add a layer mask with this button down here. Also, if I'm going too fast or if someone doesn't understand something, feel free to interrupt. But so now we have our mask. We're gonna invert that by hitting Command I. So now it's all hidden. We're gonna go and go back to our any regular brush and make sure our color is on white. So we're gonna reveal wherever we want to shade. So just draw back the shadow, draw it back like that. And we can make it lighter by using like a gray tone on the mask. So like that. And then that's how you use the brush to, or get this pattern by making a new brush, a custom brush. But also you can, also do this by making a pattern instead of a brush. So to do that, we would
square
draw.
brackets. For who forgot, square brackets allows you to enlarge and reduce the brush.
Yeah. So we're gonna draw our lines again. And then we're gonna use the marquee tool again to select a section of that. I'm just gonna make it a square. And then we go up to edit again, and instead of define brush preset, we do define pattern and name it whatever you want. And then that should appear in your window. So go up to window and then patterns. So that should appear here. And so now we're gonna make another layer, and you click on the pattern and it puts a pattern over the whole screen. So then after that, you want to do the clipping mask again, clip it to your shape. And the pattern, it has white in it. So we're gonna want to get rid of that white by changing the layer style to multiply, because multiply sort of like gets rid of the light values in your layer. And then we're gonna invert the mask again, and then again, draw the thing back in. I'm gonna see what a soft brush looks like on here. Yeah, so that's how you do it in Photoshop. But some of you might have been wondering how to do it in Illustrator, and honestly, it's pretty similar to what I just showed you, but I will just show the Illustrator version too, because why not? Okay, so same deal. We're gonna start with a shape. I'm gonna have a circle here and fill it with any color. And then I'm gonna use the line tool, make a bunch of lines. And then we're gonna take the rectangle tool and kind of just like I did in Photoshop a little bit before, make a square around a section of those lines like this. And we're gonna use the shape builder tool, which is right here. So first you wanna select everything, and then you're gonna click on the shape builder tool. And so what this does is it's sort of like the Pathfinder tool, where if you can like combine and subtract things. So we're gonna hold down Alt or Option to get rid of these lines. So you just drag over them and then it gets rid of them. And now I'm gonna remove the stroke from this square. And now we select the square with all the lines inside, and we just drag the whole thing into our swatches up here. So that made a pattern. So now if we draw another shape like this, and we clicked on our new pattern swatch up here, it's gonna fill it with that pattern. And so I'm gonna use the shape builder tool again to just get rid of the excess stuff, and then that's your line pattern. So yeah.
Now I have a question for you. The work about the mask that you did for the spread, did you do the entire piece in Photoshop, or did you do it in Illustrator and then brought it into Photoshop to do the shading?
Oh, I did the entire thing in Photoshop actually.